Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to what is traditionally the most expensive day of my year. It's MOT day. It's 7:45. I have to drop my car at the garage, which is only around the corner, by 8. My dad is picking me up there at 5 to 8 because we both need to be at work half an hour away at 20 past 8. This is going to be an interesting morning. Probably though, not quite as interesting as later on today when I get the call when they tell me all the different reasons why my car has failed its MOT and then tell me whatever horrific amount of money I have to pay them this year. And Anna's waving out of the window up there because she's still in bed. Some people have all the fun. Well, I'm waiting outside before the garage opens at 8. My dad's over there. That's his car waiting for me. We're gonna play, I'm doing this in the car because it's a really loud, like, industrial thing next to us. I did get out, it was too loud. We're gonna play a game. Let me know down in the comments if you think the cost of this service, MOT and the inevitable repairs will be more or less than the value of this car. I don't know the exact value of the car. It's like a 12-year-old Skoda Octavia. I would estimate the value at maybe 400 or 500 quid. And I'm fairly confident that the MOT will, that the whole bill today will be more than that. The oil thing is still going on. I imagine I'll probably need a new tyre of some kind. I need a new headlight, which shouldn't be too much. And there's like a squeaking, scraping sound as soon as I drive above like 40 miles an hour at the moment, which when I'm driving, I think it's coming from the left-hand side of the car. When Anna's in the passenger seat, she thinks it's coming from the right-hand side of the car, so I'm going to assume it's something to do with something that goes down the middle. So maybe handbrake or gears or something. It's going to be expensive, isn't it? Not looking forward to it. I think it's also fairly unlikely I'll get the car back today. I usually don't, because there's usually so much wrong with it. I hate cars, I hate them. But unless the amount of the bill is like 4 or 5 times the value of the car, I'm just going to grit my teeth and pay it, because I'd rather pay £1,000 to repair a £500 car than have to go through the hell of car shopping. So, wish me luck. Just had a read through some of the comments coming in so far on today's vlog. Don't worry, I am slowing down. I am not taking on too much. I am planning my days properly, I think. The exam marking is going okay. I've got probably another 4 or 5 hours of that to do to hit this week's milestone. I'm not teaching now for 24 hours. It's currently 20 past 11 because of year 11s leaving and timetable changes and the fact that I basically don't teach a lot anyway. I'm not teaching at all until this time tomorrow, so I've got plenty of time to get caught up on some other stuff that I need to get caught up on work-wise. Just had quite an interesting meeting with an unnamed local school about the possibility of doing something very part-time with them next year, which is interesting. Watch this space. I might not leave teaching completely if I can find something that really works with what we need to do with Andy and what I want to do around the business. If I can find a way to fit it in as complementary to those other things to take some of the financial pressure off, that would be pretty cool. I quite like the sound of that. So my details are now filtering through a system that I might know more within the next week or two, and I will keep you informed when I do. I've not had anything at all about the car yet, so Oh hi, this is Kevin Chapman, just phoning to see if there's any update on my Skoda.
It's just got MOT, mate.
Okie doke.
It's been serviced, it just needs MOT and they do that after, mate.
Excellent, no worries, thank you.
No worries, cheers.
Cheers, bye. Well, that sounded reassuring. No talk of money yet.
Jim?
Oh hi, this is Kevin Chapman, just phoning to see if there's any news on my Skoda.
Yeah, I'm literally just logging it on to test it now, but it'll be done in the next 40 minutes.
Okay, so I should be alright to pick it up tonight.
Sorry. It's been one of them days today.
No, that's alright, just making sure I can pick it up on the way home.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers, bye. Well, I guess that's a good sign. If he's assuming it's going to pass the MOT, we shall see. Right, do you want the good news or the bad news? Good news. We'll do it in the same order I presented it to Anna. This speech is rehearsed, full disclosure. The good news is it only cost me £230.45. We had an MOT test, an engine flush, some engine oil, an oil filter, air filter, 4 spark plugs, a headlight bulb, a side light bulb, and something called labour. £230. The bad news is I need you lot to clarify for me in the comments that this is as bad as a layman I think it sounds. When your mechanic says the phrase the beginning of the end, that's a bad sign, right? He's got to the bottom of the oil problem that we've been having for like the last year. He was right a year ago when he told me there was no oil leak. There is no oil leak. One of the cylinders is broken. I don't really know what that means. I'm not a car person, you might have guessed. One of the cylinders is broken, and he showed me the spark plug, which was all black. Apparently it's not supposed to be. But that cylinder is just burning oil quite fast. And the general gist of what he said was it's going to continue to do that until one day the engine just packs in, at which point we have a broken car that we're just going to need to replace. His recommendation was I buy a new car. Now, obviously, the situation we're in at the moment, buying a new car would be a stupid idea unless there's a way to buy something decent at a reasonable price. I don't know. I need you lot to let me know down in the comments what is a decent car at a reasonable price. What sort of thing should we be looking for? Buying a car is the worst experience in the history of the world. I can't stand it. I hate everything about it. I can't stand going to car shops. I despise test driving. The thought of doing any of it makes me crave just being in the car and having it go bang at some point and just starting to get the bus. I think I'd prefer that than having to go car shopping. But, and that's probably what I'd do if it was just me, but obviously we need a car to be able to get Andy to school from September. That's kind of the reason I'm leaving work. We need a car to be able to get us to Boston for his residential thing that he does, for his doctor's appointments. We need to be able to get to Grantham, just because it's Grantham, but also because that's where his dentist is. That's where one of the other doctor people is. That's where the dietitian is. Because we're sort of stranded in the middle of nowhere, we do need a car. It's a necessity for us, and it's annoying because I'd much rather not have one. But I need one. So he gave the two options he presented to me, where I just run the thing into the ground, and it might last a few weeks, it might last a few years, you never know. Or go trade it in now for something while we've still got the opportunity to, and start again with a different one. So in my situation, you lot know my situation inside and out. What would you do? Would you run it into the ground? Would you go and buy a cheap used car? If so, what would you buy and how much should I be spending on it? Or would you just bite the bullet and go and buy a new car, or a nearly new car from a proper dealer, find one that does a decent trade-in deal and get finance? Which, it would be a bad idea to add to our monthly outgoings, but at the same time it would be a disaster to be without a car, or to buy a car that's just as unreliable as this one. So there's lots of pros and cons for each one. You know me, I will be preparing my own pros and cons list, but I need your input because cars are so outside my area of expertise that if I'm left to make this decision on my own, I will get it wrong. So those of you who love cars and love car shopping, consider yourself my personal shopper, my personal advisor for however long it takes to get through this horrible process. And let's either decide to run it into the ground, figure out a way to fix it, or find me a new car to buy.